Alright, cool. Right, it's Black Man the Traveller. I hope everyone's okay. Hope everyone's enjoying this heat. Everyone's getting burnt. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, the rain's gonna come soon. So this is a very, very special series that I've got today. I've got a very special interview. I'm gonna let the guy introduce himself.
Yo, what's up? JAJA Soze. It's all good.
That's right.
Thanks for having me.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Salam.
Thank you very much for coming down.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
It's all good, bro.
It's actually crazy to see someone that we used to see on TV, yeah, on rapping, on interviews, Channel U days, and I'm actually
DVD.
Interviewing the person. It's crazy. First of all, where originally from, country-wise, my brother?
My family are from Jamaica.
Okay.
Jamaica background. But my dad was, growing up, he's Rasta, so he was always in Ghana.
Yeah.
So from a young age, I understood like my background, Africa, and I had back in days when people seen a vision of Africa, I used to see pictures of a different Africa.
Yeah.
So I saw Africa from a different
perspective
than everyone else growing up. I'm saying to you. And at that time in the 80s, it was very like kids on the TV, the flies on their head and all that. So everyone was like, that's Africa to them, but I also saw a different Africa. So that's kind of my
they portrayed Africa the negative way, but you saw the real Africa with your own eyes. So you grew up in South London.
Yeah.
Growing up in Brixton, yeah?
Yeah.
Growing up in Brixton as a child, how would you describe it, bro?
Brixton was good. Brixton was cool. It was a lot of, it's like a mix in Brixton. It's like a lot of lost people, cultural, mixed with music. There's drugs, there's crime.
So it was like
it's
diverse.
It's just like mad diverse in Brixton. Brixton's like that, but it's always been like a very cultural place. It's like a cultural hub for London. Yeah, Brixton's always been that place where like you'll find your roots. Like you would always find like a African restaurant or a Jamaican restaurant, like proper food or something. It's like always got that. Brixton's been that place.
It's been that hub.
Yeah, it's been a hub.
And I think Brixton, especially South London in general, like South and Tottenham and Hackney, that's where most of the the first generations came over and settled. So you growing up in Brixton, would you say that you was exposed to a lot of like African restaurants, Caribbean restaurants, and seen so many like Afro-Caribbean type of movement over there?
That was normal for us. We it's a lot of culture, and there's a lot of like we was exposed to like our culture was just it was like a good vibe. Like, in the summertime there will be sound systems, music, everyone's out, food's cooking.
Wow.
Yeah, everyone just vibes in. That was it. The local guys you got the drug dealers over there, you got the conscious man them over there. I'm saying to you, got some of the religious people over there. So it was, the community was like that. You had so you have like might have the Asians, then you have the you might say the Muslims, then you have the Nation of Islam, and then you have the Yardis, and you have all in one place.
But everyone was unified together.
Everyone was problem. There's no problems.
So everyone got along together, basically.
Yeah, there's no problems like that. No, back then it was all good. Like everyone respected everyone's thing that they had going on. So it was all good.
How would you describe yourself like as a child, like growing up in South London?
As a child growing up, I think I was growing up. It's like soldier, but there's no war.
Okay. That's powerful. Soldier but no war.
Yeah, that's how I felt, and then you don't know where the war. Like it's like you're supposed to be fighting something. Yeah. But you don't know what you're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I used to feel when I was growing up. Like I'm supposed to be doing something, contributing to something, helping a cause. But what? And that's how I felt on the streets growing up. Like, well, it's like this, what the war? And then I think that's how a lot of the problem started with a lot of the young people switching on each other.
Okay.
They probably felt the same way. It's like,
the same type of energy.
So
and
you start creating. It's like you start creating a war in your environment, like a makeshift one. Like that's my enemy. Yeah, that's my enemy. Now you have a reason
to be fighting amongst this
doing
person.
Something. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of us, because it was in us. Like we're like warriors for a cause from. We're back in our DNA from ancestors' times, from
slavery times.
So we've got that thing in us, and we just wasn't given the right direction
and the right guidance.
I was given it. I understood, my dad giving me a little bit of that growing up, so I understood, like, I grew up in a very revolutionary background, so I kind of understood, so I understood, like, okay, so growing up, like, I knew about Patrice Lumumba, and I knew about certain people growing up.
R.I.P. Patrice Lumumba, man. He was a proper real leader, man. If you don't know, get to know the history, bro.
Yeah, so a lot of people like that I grew up knowing about, so I always knew kind of with there's people that's a system that's out against us.
But why would you say that?
Because people that were trying to do great and trying to fight and help were getting assassinated.
That's true.
So I was like, okay, so there are people trying, because people were saying that we're just drug dealers and that. I was like, nah.
But they don't know the real story.
But there's people that's trying to build cities and empires and trying to help the people, but they're just getting assassinated. So there are people that, but no one knows who's assassinated them. So it's like
mysterious.
That frustration, that could be frustrating as growing up as a young person and understanding that and not knowing who's doing that.
You know,
is that the policeman in there, or is that the teacher who's doing that?
Because, like, you see, when you're young, they don't really teach you much about African history, especially the education system. They teach you what they want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a shame you have to know your own roots.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we have to get 1 month, even 12 months in a year to celebrate an African history. It's just, it don't make sense. How did you get involved in music? Because obviously, when, like I said, I grew up listening to you. I grew up listening to some of your other peers as well that was part of PDC, especially your brother. Big up your brother.
Of course.
So I grew up listening to PDC and I grew up listening to USGs. Shout out K Coconut. So how did PDC actually form as a collective or as a family?
It formed. Do you know what? It formed through that same kind of concept of lost soldiers and all coming together. A lot of us that grew up together didn't have, like, broken families. Some people came from care.
Oh wow!
It was like there's loads of dysfunction in a lot of the that came from, like, the PDC households. So, and then to come together, that's how we came together. That was like our peace, our family. Yeah, I'm saying to you. So, and then there was olders before us that was they had their street thing going on, and then we kind of come onto it, and then that's kind of like PDC formed. It's just lost soldiers. So I always say, like,
so everyone had something in common. That's in terms of to unite together.
We all had something in common. We all got the same similar stories, and you all got that same warrior energy, and you don't know what to do with it. And then me and Montana, one of the guys that was we started with, we kind of said music. Like, I said, well, you know what, let's put this in music. And then we all said, everyone's like, yes. That's what we all got in common. A lot of us was artists. We all could write, we all could rap, so we all could do, some could do production, we all could do something to do with music. And that was a common ground for a lot of us. And that's what built it. That's what kind of it stemmed from that thing, like, the connection is the streets and the music. We all have that in common. And that's it. We all had a love for music. That was, like, for me, that was my diary. So just growing up, then you just write things down. Like, something that never used to rhyme or make sense or nothing, I just write random stuff down. I'm like that. Like.
But I've listened to your songs because, you know, one of the songs I actually like is Real Talk. Old school one. Oh man, if you don't know Real Talk, I don't want to say the lyrics, but, you know, talking about Real Talk, and then there was another one with you and your brother. When you done, I think it was a Fire in the Booth, or you done one for Charlie Sloth, and then man, your brother was speaking a lot of knowledge and wisdom, you know. And then listening to that growing up, because I never came from a silver spoon family. I came from a council house. You know what I mean? Like, my father left me at the age of 15, 16 or something. So I can relate to certain people in certain different aspects in life. So when I'm listening to you and your brother, and I'm hearing the lyrics, and I'm hearing the motivation, but at the same time the struggle and his pain. And that's going to be relatable to so many people. Forget about even if you're black, but to so many people that come from that environment. So that's why I highly respect you and the PDC movement, because you guys were like, you weren't rapping about shooting guys or doing this, but you was actually rapping about what life is really happening.
That's where we come from. It's just like a diary. We just write what's going on. Like, we just literally write it on paper. Like, and I think that's what you hear. A lot of people shun away from that. So they try to create an whole different character, ego, whole alter ego, and whole new character, and then they go with that one. But our one wasn't alter egos. It was just like we're just writing about what we experience, what we see, what we see, and what we go through on a daily basis, just in real life, what we experience, and just giving it out there.
As a Muslim and as a black man, do you think it's hard to break through the UK industry?
Yeah, I think it's if obviously that adds on to it, definitely, if you're Muslim, and especially if, I don't want to say if you're black, I would say it more if it's the content that you're speaking about. Not even if you're Muslim, I would just say it's the content that you're speaking about. I think they don't want a certain type of ideology and kind of concept pushed from the public and that they're backing. Obviously they can't back certain things. The industry can't.
Of course they can't
back it, because
yeah, there's a limit as well.
You're talking about them in it, like how am I gonna give you a meal but you're dissing me? The meal that I give you doesn't make sense, does it? Like, so
don't bite the hand that feeds you.
So that's what it is with I'm saying to you, and with me, they know that I'm just a very outspoken individual. That's what it is. So they just like, okay, we like judging that, but we stay a bit away from it. We don't.
I know that you're very into like helping the youth and that as well. Because I know that you got your own record label. There's some wrong.
I've got like I got Brixton Recording Studios, and I now manage another studios called Brixton Village Studios. Okay,
how did that start?
How did it start?
Yeah, how did you start like forming your own record label?
It was from just the music thing, and the studio that I used, Brixton Recording Studios, we used to go there when we was younger, and I used to always say, you know what, one day I'm gonna have my own studio. And then that's kind of like that was always in my thing. But I always wanted, when we first was going to studio, it was hard to get into the studio.
Why?
See, nowadays it's easy. Back then, remember, there'll only be like 5 studios or something, and you couldn't just go into the studio. It was like, nah, you got to go in there big bucks. It wasn't like now where you can £25 an hour. Back in days, it wasn't like that. It was like,
so it was harder back in the day.
It was crazy, like £300 for the day, 500. It was serious when you're young.
Oh, man said £300, £500 for the day.
So the game was different back then. Everything was different. Music videos were crazy money. Like everything is a different ball game. So everyone that was out there had to be a certain caliber.
Okay.
Saying to you, you couldn't just, like now you can just do it in your house on YouTube, quickly pull it out. You couldn't do that back in the days. There's only certain people had cameras. So you couldn't just do things like that. So
shout out Jamal, rest in peace, Jamal Edwards as well, man, because he actually put on a lot of people.
100%. So I'm saying, like, same for Jamal. I met him. He came to when he was young, and he just was starting out, and he said, "Can I film you guys? Like you lot can help me because you lot are popular already." And then that's how he messed up our first one because he wasn't good. But that's how we started our relationship with him. Jamal, got mad love for him. I'm saying to you, he was there from the beginning. And the scene was. That's just how it just grew from that. Yeah, man.
Would you say the generation now are worse than the generation that was probably your generation, my generation? Would you say like a lot of people don't have guidance and support by the elders? Do you think violence is worse now than it was back in the day? Do you think music is playing a key part in that?
I don't think. No, I don't. Do you know what it is? I think. I wouldn't say they're worse than when it was before. It was that the direction of what we was focused on is changed.
Okay.
So, like my generation was money orientated.
Yes.
More money orientated.
Okay.
So even the crimes and a lot of stuff was money orientated crimes.
Okay.
So back in the days, in the 80s, 90s, you had things like bank robberies and all that kind of stuff. It was money driven. Yeah. Then it started getting more into robbing actual people. It started changing. You started getting like rob your uncle.
Yeah. Oh wow!
The streets started getting a bit more savage,
wild.
More wild, and then that's when it started changing. And because of those kind of things where someone robs their own uncle, then that family don't talk to that side of it. Then
retaliation
happens, and then that's what was happening. So it started getting messy. So a lot of messy stuff started happening on the streets. I'm saying to you, so that's happening over here, America. It just starts getting more messy where there's no rules. Like you can now rob your uncle. Like there's no rules. Like and then they started saying it. There's no rules no more. And then that gets promoted in rap songs, and no one cares. YOLO and. If no one cares, so,
madness.
Yeah, so it starts becoming messy. So then things start escalating from that because then there's no rules. You don't care about your uncle. You don't care if an elder comes and says, listen, you can't, they're like, shut up. There's no respect. So that's what it is. I think that's what's kind of added on to it. And also, you got the big corporate systems behind it that don't mind backing the chaos because it's not their children.
I like that.
Yeah, they don't mind backing it. It's not my. That's not
because it's not affecting them.
That's
so
your children. So you lot can't hand them. Don't know. But we can profit from them.
Yeah.
Then why not?
You just said something very important. Profit. Do you think musicians are getting exploited in the industry?
Yeah.
Especially the ones that are like probably upcoming or don't have equity and ownership amongst
it's not
the royalty.
It's just the youth. We've been, as our culture, we've been getting like manipulated, used from how long? It's not. Yeah, it just is what it is. Because when you own. We don't have ownership, so we have to go to the system. No, we don't have to, but people choose because it's more easier. And that's what happens. So we don't have proper ownership of our things. So we have to go to them, and if they can profit from it, it's not hurting us, not hurting our children, it's not hurting our communities. Why not? I don't live in those areas where the execs don't live in like where my estate would have been Angel Town or Brixton. They don't live in Peckham or
no, they don't.
Or
well, now, man, they gentrify in London.
But now,
but back in the day,
then,
no way.
They didn't live in the ghettos.
No.
So when it was a ghettos, they wasn't living there. So they was like, well, they're talking about shooting each other. We don't live there. So, but we can profit from them because the sound is actually good, and the way it looks is marketable. The way they look, the way they present themselves, like how can someone market struggle so well? How can someone just make the struggle look so dope? Like we just naturally make something bad, someone could lock you in a room and they come out to the room and you've done graffiti in the wall, you've made it look nice, and then they're like, this, you're supposed to be in here for punishment. How did you do that? How come you made in here look so cool? And people that are outside actually come to your window to visit you, to look into your room. But you're on punishment. So now you got a crowd coming in, and you start charging them like, "Right, you've got to pay me £5 to look into my room." They stay like, how does he do that? You're supposed to be on punishment. How did you make money? From yourself.
And that's how they profit from you.
That's how they profit, because they see that and think and say, okay, well, if we can now say to him, we'll bring more people to that window, and you can make £10 instead of £5, but we will take 6 because we're going to promote it for you, and put you in a bigger cell, and then now they can create more cells and put more people into cells and can make more profit.
Exploitation will be expanding.
And that's how it is.
What does music mean to you? Describe music in general.
To me, to me, music is it's a voice. Okay, that's what it is for me. It's a voice, and it's a voice, and it's also how can I say? It's like a frequency to reach other people. That's what I use. That's for me. That's what I'm saying to you. So I can reach people. This is a voice, and it can also get sent to people. You know what I'm saying to you? It's like Royal Mail. It's like I can send it.
I'm delivering it straight away towards you.
Straight. I'm saying to you, that's what it is. That's what music is for me. Like straight, and I can just say what I want. It's like art. I'm saying to you, that's how I look at music. Freedom of speech, everything. Like this is it. Say whatever I want.
You're very intelligent. I've listened to you so many times.
Much appreciated.
And you're very open-minded. Even if like you came from probably one of the most roughest areas in the UK, but you made something out of it. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people they adjust to their product of environment, and they're just used to that. But you built your own platform, you build yourself, and now you're showing people, look, because I come from a negative environment, it doesn't mean you can end up like that. So you're a visionary, you know what I mean? So it's good.
I think a lot of the things that what we're not told is things are based on our choices.
Yes.
That's what we do. So a lot of us make a lot of bad choices.
I agree.
That's what it is. So our environments do have part to play, but it's still based on your choice. So there's people that's lived in my state. One person that just had a job and just works as like Tesco's or whatever, and built his way up, and now he's doing very well for himself. He owns properties. And there's another person that lived in the same estate, same family problems, everything, and then he went down crime, and then he's went down a whole different road
because of the choice that the person made.
So they both in the same environment. The families are both broken. They're in the same place, the same drugs, guns, everything's going on, the same problems, nothing different. That one just made a different choice. That's all it is. And that's what we have to start understanding is the choices that we're making. And the choice that we make can then develop into different problems and different situations. I'm saying to you, and that's what I believe with like poverty as well. The poverty thing is a state of mind. Like what we do, someone will be getting £100. They're like, oh, this is a little bit of money, man. This is a joke. But then someone else will get the £100, like, I'm saving £90. I'm not buying trainers, nothing. I don't care if you call me a tramp. I'm gonna keep saving £90. I'm gonna get £100. I'm gonna keep saving 90. I don't care how long it takes. And then by the time you blink, 10 years is gone, and he's just been saving. He went up to 1,000, then he saved 900. He went to 10 grand, he saved 9 grand. Eventually, he's got more money than everybody. Yeah. And then everyone's like,
how did he do that?
He must have won the lottery.
Yeah.
How come?
Because it's the choice that he made as well.
Choices that he made. It's just a choice. That's all it is. And we have to start understanding the choices that we're making. That's it. That's all. That's a lot to do with what we're doing, especially in our communities. We have bad choices. A lot of bad choices.
Within our communities, I was saying something like, because I've been to America, but I've not been to Atlanta before. Atlanta got a certain neighborhood where they've got wealthy black people. Yeah. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I went to Atlanta, yeah.
Okay, but in the UK, we don't have this type of neighborhoods. Why do you think America's more advanced in terms of black entrepreneurs, black businesses that collaborate and grow together? But over here, it's like, okay, maybe JAJA's doing this or black man's doing that, but I'm not going to mess with black man because he's, you know what I mean? But do you think there's a lot of envy and ego within the black community in the UK?
The UK is based off classism.
Okay.
A lot of classism, remember. So it's a lot of like, okay, you have these class, that class, like, okay, no, we can't mess with them. Like we only mess with like Knightsbridge people.
Yeah.
We only mess with Chelsea people. We don't mess with Brixton people. Doesn't matter how great you are, no, we don't go over there. We don't go over there. And then America is the American dream. Can you make me money? That's it. So can you make me money? That's it. So that's someone, even someone that's white or brown or Chinese or anything, they will say, you know what? Can you make money? And I'm going to work with you because I can make money. That's it. Their main base of it is the American dream, remember? So because they have that thing over there, the American dream, can we make each other money? Yeah. That's what counts first. The money. So they're saying, well, we can make money. Where over here, it doesn't matter if you can make the money. It's like that, from Brixton or he's from Northwest. Now we don't mess with those kind of people. I don't want to be associated with those people. That means more in Britain, like the reputation thing, the class thing. Like, no, we don't mess with those kind of people. It doesn't matter, even if they can make $1 million off you, they still keep it like that. And the system is built like that as well. So you find people that go into like, whether it's law, music, acting, that system is still in place. Where they're like, nah, you haven't come through the certain school. You haven't come through the right school, so you can't act in this film. What? Where someone else will be like, he's a great actor. We can make money from him. We can make money from this guy, and they just bring him in. That's the difference between other places. England, they're stuck in the classism thing, that class thing that you can't.
And how long do you think it would take for us to come out of that classism? Then?
Until we stop trying to get a seat at their table. We need to stop trying to get a seat at the table, and then we can create our own systems. It's like everyone's fighting to get a seat at that table, like to join that classism. To then say, well, I'm not from the hood no more. I don't mess with you lot no more.
Yeah, you get people like that sometimes.
So it's like someone from Brixton will get onto the table and they'll be like, don't go to Brixton no more. Dirty people. Then someone from Peckham will get to the table and be like, don't go Peckham no more. Horrible people. Yeah. Like, whoa. And then that's what happens. So then that's why our system can't get built within our community, because now we're on that not even a white table, but a class table. Because you get it in. Because when I was younger, I used to always think, and it might sound harsh, I think it's white people. Like,
why?
It's just white people that are in that thing. But then, because that's the
mindset of
when how I
young.
saw things black and white and black. And then when I started going into certain corporate tables, I'm like, oh, there's black people with them as well. Yeah. Oh, and Asians as well.
Yeah. But we don't get, the thing is, when you're young in the UK, they don't teach you a lot of stuff in terms of business, in terms of corporate world. We think it's a white man's world. Yes, it is. It's a white man's world. But then until for a person of color, the Asian community, the black community, we need to wake up. Say, hold on a minute. These people need us more than we need them. Because without us, they're not making a pound sign. Exactly. So I think now I totally agree with what you said about the American dollar dream. In America, it's that, listen, can you make me money? Yeah. And America's 4 times bigger than here. And you're just on grind mode in America. Over here, it's like, there is classism. And I think over here in the UK, there's a lot of envy and ego. Yeah. I can't fuck with my man because he's doing this. Yeah. But how come he's blowing up and I've been doing this for 5 years? The UK's got this type of stigma, I think, in terms of people that are either musicians or young entrepreneurs. We need to put aside the envy and the ego and just collab and grow. Yeah. Because when I was in America, like for example, I was in New York and I was in San Francisco, and I see the way all the different gangs, because I filmed with certain gangs in New York. I see every area's got its own structure, but everyone eats together. And everyone supports each other. Even if that guy's a photographer, everyone's gonna be supporting this guy. But over here, it's like, nah, he ain't got that many followers on Instagram, or he ain't got that many followers on YouTube. I think we need to put that ego aside and say, you know what? Because I understand his struggle, his vision might be different, but let me support my brother, or let me support this girl.
Exactly, and that's what it is. It's also looking at, like, America will be like, he ain't got that much followers, but he's a dope photographer. And they'll be like, wow, that stylist. No one knows him, but yo, he's a dope stylist. That's what it is, and that's over here. They don't care if you're dope. As I said, they don't care if you could be amazing. They're just like, he's got no views though. He's got no followers. I'll wait till he gets famous. Even the labels do it. Like if you go to a music label, they want the artist when the artist has got like 10 million views and it's blowing up, and the artist is big already. So they don't do artist development over here. Nothing. They don't do no kind of development. They're like, nah.
Okay.
We don't like that bit.
Yeah.
That's why I say they want things when it's done, and that's how it is over here. Where some other countries, they're like, oh no, that person, they got talent, or they're dope, and I'm gonna invest time, energy into that person, and we can all progress
from that person.
I'm saying to you, me sharing my skills with that person together, we can make some progress. And I think if things are seen in that way, we make much more progress as a community, as people.
There'll be more change
as
in
a
that
society. There's more change with everything. I'm saying to you, and that's just like with Africa, with other countries, with their mineral resources and everything. Like if we utilize it as a team, then things change.
The problem is just the mindsets that certain people have, and it's a shame that Africa has got so many resources, Asia's got so many resources, but that's another subject to speak about. PDC, who came up with the name?
The name came from the first name Pilgrim Crew came from. Okay. That was Pilgrim Crew. That's a Jamaica patois term. Like Robin and all that kind of stuff. That came from the older set, the 28s.
Okay.
There's a bit discussion that some of the 28s and some of the old school untouchable. There's debate where it came from, but it was the older lot. I'm saying definitely from the older lot. And then me and Montana got hold of it. That the scope, we got the kind of scope of it. We was part of it, and then I kind of saw that this can change, and we can evolve with this. I'm saying to you, so that I'm that kind of person. I'm a builder. I'm like an architect in my brain. So I say, no, we can change it. And that's when like poverty-driven children started adding our social circumstances to it.
Amongst that name,
towards the name, I using the 3 letters. So PDC, I said, okay, now we can use our environment with this. And then we started saying pray days change, poverty-driven children, please don't cry. That's all the things that you hear someone say to their child, please don't cry, things will change. We're praying days get better, praying days change.
Poverty-driven children.
We're poverty-driven. I'm saying we're driven by the poverty to change and to do things. So that's where the kind of concept started coming in with the PDC.
I like that.
Yeah, and then even because we had the PDC for like it probably lasted for like around 20 years. That we had a 20-year run. We probably had one of the longest runs of the crew the size we had. Our crew was massive. So
how many people were part of the crew? I'm asking. Like more than 50 or?
Yeah, there's probably more than 50. Yeah, so the artist wise, there was like around 30 artists, and then street wise. Bro, you might go into like hundreds and it's hundreds something, like it's going bigger than that.
I've been to Angel Town, it's a big estate. I've been to Angel Town.
Same to you. So we had a nice one. And then that just, when the PDC kind of stopped, like from 2017, and it kind of stopped, and that's when I started, I got new stuff I started launching, going into, and it taught me a lot with regards to business.
Has it changed your mindset as well?
Changed my mindset. I learned a lot. PDC taught me loads of stuff. I'm saying to you, it also prepared me for when I went into corporate world with the savagery the savagery is exactly the same. It made me understand that, wow, it's the same here. They just do it with shirts and ties. It's just more organized.
They just do it with shirt and ties.
They just do shirt and ties. So I said, okay. So because of PDC, I understood.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, oh, this is horrible. This is that. I said, nah, I understood. He's like the guy. He's like the plug. He's like the guy that robs people. He's like Rare. Mr. Rare is like that person. I understood it. Like, oh, okay, this is cool. I understood the concept of it. So that's kind of probably why I was able to survive after PDC and do business stuff and everything and start making more progress. Because I just use the concept's the same. Like, it's the same blueprint. So
I like the name PDC, Poverty Driven Children, man, because it's like everything that's around your environment and, you know, surroundings, the name represents, and everyone can relate to that if you come from that struggle. Exactly. So I think that's I like it, man.
And it also, when I was creating the names, I always had the people in my mindset, like the people, like other people, like what you just said, like they can relate to this, they can relate to us. We're gonna speak on at that time, loads of young people didn't have a voice.
That's true.
So I was always saying, no, we're gonna speak on their behalf. People that's going through certain things, we're gonna speak on their behalf. We are gonna be the voice, and so, people are gonna they're gonna criticize and they're gonna be mad at us and that, but we're gonna speak for the voiceless. And that's where we kind of started with it from. Yeah, man.
Brixton, man, you guys had some amazing talent. PDC, you know, you got Sneakbo, you got Hard Ads. Yeah. You guys have got some amazing, you know, musicians, and a lot of them actually business people. Yeah. You know what I mean? So shout out to the people that came up from your area.
Yeah, of course.
One thing I want to say is, growing up in Brixton, what motivation words would you say to people that are watching this right now? Because you came from an era where it was rough. Yeah. You came from an era where you was part of probably one of the most feared, let's just say brotherhood. I wouldn't call it a gang, I'll call it a brotherhood. Yeah. So you came from an era where it was very dangerous, but you've become something that certain people wouldn't think you would. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Certain people think, hold on a minute, JAJA won't become this. So you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur. What words would you give out to the audience to say?
I would just tell them that we got to be very careful with the choices that we're making, and you can be anything you want, and that was the trick, that was the deception. Like, you lot I think society's pushed on us the ghetto gangster thing. It's pushed on us like, this is for you lot,
but it's not.
It's not for us. We're not that. But they pushed it on us like that's your thing, and it's not our thing. That's not our thing. We wasn't. That's not us. I'm saying to you, there's a lot of us out. We're very intelligent. There's artists, there's builders, there's architects, musicians.
There's ladies that got business mindsets as well.
I'm saying to you, there's loads of things we go on and on. I'm saying to you, and our women are not hoes and bitches. And I'm saying to you that there's a lot of things they pushed on us. And another thing they pushed on us was that all the dads are gone. All the dads wasn't gone. Like some of my friends, their dads wasn't still there. Their mum and dad, they was in the house with mum and their dad. So I was like, who's pushing that concept? So a lot of the things we got to realize that we can do anything we put our minds to. It's just the choices that we're making. We got to make better choices, and we need to start and reach out. If you need help, reach out to someone in your area that you see is doing something sensible. Reach out to them. Don't be scared to reach out. I think growing up in the street, especially, don't beg friend, don't do this, and that kept everyone at bay. But I say no. Go and speak to people.
Come out of your comfort zone.
If you see someone like an older person, male or female, doing something productive in your community, go and speak to them. Say, well, what are you doing? How do you do that? Like, right, speak to them.
Because you can learn from that as well.
You can learn from that. I'm saying to you, say, well, you know what, is it all right if I like roll with you for the day? Like, kind of see like how this is all done. You speak to people, learn. I'm saying to you. So that's what I told the young people, like, don't be scared to this network with people in your community.
I like network. I keep saying to people, network is the most important thing to grow as a person, even if it's not in a business perspective. To network as a human being, it's important.
If you see an elder, go and speak to them. Elder woman, mum, auntie, uncle. Say, unks, you know, like, Raw, what do you do? You might say, I'm an electrician. Like, oh, how did you start that? Like, Raw,
and you're going to learn from that.
You're going to learn from that. That's a conversation. I'm saying to you, that's what it is. I'm saying to you, he might say to you, yeah, I was getting this wages, and you'll be like, what? How you was getting that? I didn't know they paid that much. Yeah, that's what it is, and that's how you learn. So it's just conversating. I say that to all the youngers, like, don't be scared to network. Like, it might not look like you have a community, but we are a community. We have your back. I'm saying to you, and that's what we got as the older ones got to make sure the young ones know, like, Rob, we got your back. I'm saying to you, come, especially with me as well. I got your back. Like, you can come and speak to me, you can reach out. Like, we have your back, and I hope other elders in the communities also are representing that way as well. Like, raw, you lot can come and speak to us. I'm saying to you, yeah, that's all love. What's
the end goal? Like, what's your vision?
My vision is to make a big contribution for society in general, and to change certain concepts that we've been spoon-fed, that I think are causing us really bad problems with our healing and just with who we are. It's not making us be able to tap in. It's blocking our achievements, our greatness within us first. I think a lot of the stuff is we deal with too much outside stuff. We don't understand the powers within us. That's what I'm saying. I think we don't understand how food messes up our system. Loads of wild sex, loads of things we're watching, loads of conversations, the people we have around us, how they affect our frequency. We haven't been taught about other things like that. I'm saying to you, frequencies and DNA patterns and loads of other things. We haven't been taught about that. So we're just looking at things outside instead of looking at things within. And I think that's a big thing for our community. We need to start tapping back inwards. I'm saying to you, tapping back in with a source. I'm saying to you, with the source of who we are. I think that's a big key thing for us. We've lost our way with that side, and we're just looking at like Nike, Reebok. We're looking outside. Everything's outside.
But no one's looking within.
No one's looking within, and I think we need to go back within. I'm saying to you, all of us need to go back within, even as not just as black people, as human beings, just go back in. Yeah. That's the same. So I think a lot of the things I do is to contribute to the tapping back in, whether it's music, books, anything I do is to help tap back in. Yeah.
I appreciate that, bro.
That's my end goal.
I hope everyone's actually paying attention to his end goal, because that's actually that's motivational.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And I think it's important, because man, I just to watch you on TV, to see you next to me here, that's an achievement, you know. And I'll tell you the reason why, like, I started to do this traveling thing. You know, there's not a lot of people of color, the black community, the Asian community in the UK that travel to certain countries that we wouldn't go to.
Yeah.
So I've been to Pakistan, I've been to India, I've been to Latin America, and just to have the experience as a person of colour, first of all, person of colour, that comes from a deprived neighbourhood. I come from Stratford in Newham. So that comes from a deprived neighbourhood, and to come out the comfort zone and to understand different cultures and beliefs. Yeah. So when I spoke to my cousin and I told my girl that I'm going to start this platform, people thought, oh no, it's not going to work. But then time and consistency. Yeah. Those are the two words I believe in. And I'm a very big Nipsey Hussle fan. And I loved his philosophy. I love the way Nipsey spoke. He was very articulate. I love the way his partner supported him, Lauren London, and I love the way his older brother, Black Sam, supported him as well. So to have someone like Nipsey Hussle, I've never met the guy, but I've been to his area in LA. But to have someone like him and to see him as a mentor, and to see, hold on a minute, he came from an area that I came from. Well, similar background. But he came from an area where it was survival mode, and he made something out of himself. But once he made something out of himself, he gave back to his community. So that's what I'm trying to do, but through traveling. To say people, listen, don't be scared to go to these countries. Don't be scared to interview certain people. Don't be scared to try new things, but take the opportunity that you have. 100%. Because you don't want to live life, by the time you turn 70 or 80, I wish I'd done that, I wish I'd done this. It's too late, brother.
Exactly.
And don't listen to people, because some people that give advice, they give you negative advice. A lot of them are giving negative advice because it's either envy and they're jealous of you, and they wish that they could be in your position. So you need to embrace the position that you have and inspire other people.
100.
And I think that's one of the most.
Tapping in. Even you go into those countries, that's you tapping in. That's what I'm saying to you. That's tapping in. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what's tapping in. A lot of the young people, because you know what is here, a lot people like yourself, when people see you traveling, they're like, oh, what, we can go to those countries. That's what it is, and that's what we need to see more of, and we are seeing more of that. So that is, you're helping people travel all over the place. I'm saying to you, same for like other guys like Wado, Mayo,
big up Wado, mate. The short Ghanaian brother.
That's what I'm saying to you. So it's people like yourself. I'm saying to you, because when I first got the message come and link you, I think it was my son or my daughter showed me the one for doing in Pakistan. I didn't see that. They showed it to me. I was like, wow. That's what I'm saying to you. So that's the blessing. So you're making people look at things from a different avenue. Okay, well, we can go there. That's cool. And that's what we need. That's what we need. It's real.
People just stay awake, and I think we need unity amongst all communities. You know, we need unity, and I think people need to any opportunity you have, just take it.
100.
Because you don't know that God can give you opportunity now, and then we give it to the next man or the next girl,
exactly.
and then it's game over.
100.
And I believe everyone has got a talent, no matter what nationality, what religion you are. As soon as you're born, you got a talent and a gift. Once you understand the talent, gift you have, nurture it, protect yourself, and grow as a person.
100%.
Because no one's born in this world to be a slave in the system.
No way.
I don't believe in that philosophy.
No way. No way. I don't
believe in that
that's
philosophy.
a holdback, and that's what we need. That's what I'm saying. That's what we need to break free of, and that's definitely tapping into your true self. And I think what we've done in society as well, it's made us all the same, and we need to tap into our unique abilities. Like, well, it's okay to be different, and that's what we need to show people. Like, you know what, you can be you. You don't have to be the same as everyone else. Like, someone might say, no, I don't want to dress like this because they might think I'm weird.
Forget that, bro. Yeah.
Dress like how you want to be. You're you. What do you mean? Like, you're not him, you're not her. That's what it is. We need to be our unique selves. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to be you. It's okay to be different. And that's what we need to show that through our work or whatever it is. And I think that's tapping again. Back to tapping in. That's the key.
No, I totally appreciate it, man. Anyone that's watching this, bro, where can I find your social media?
On my things at JAJA PDC, JAJA Soze, at JAJA PDC, most of them at JAJA Soze, for everything. And that's all. YouTube, Instagram, what else there? Twitter, same thing. I'm
going to put all of your social media in the description. How good are you with your geography?
I'm probably whack.
You're bad. I'm going to ask you 2 questions then, yeah?
I'll ask you 2 questions, let's see.
2 questions, all right? We're going to test JAJA Soze, guys. All right, 2 questions. Right, let me see. Pick a continent. Any continent around the world.
Europe.
This guy's playing safe. He's playing safe. Europe. All right, cool. What's the capital of Russia?
Man, probably straight to defense. What's the capital of Russia again? Oh, I forgot. I don't know.
Moscow.
Oh, right. Look at that. That's living, right.
All right, cool. I'm going to stay safe. I'll play Europe here. Edinburgh is located in which country?
Anyway, in Scotland.
Right, that's it. Black Man the Traveller. I hope you guys have enjoyed this amazing interview. I've had 2 amazing guests. I've had King Kaya, who is my manager, he's my cousin. King Kaya Media, he's a young entrepreneur, businessman. I've had JAJA Soze.
Much love, fam.
He's a businessman. He is an influencer. Check him out, guys. Black Man the Traveller. Take care. Hope you guys enjoy this series.